Okay, everybody, so this is a question that I wanted to ask because I've been having a debate lately with people I know about the DEI and Trump blaming everything on DEI that he can possibly think to blame on. And the debate I've been having is, I think that's going to backfire on him. And then my opponent in this debate is saying, birds of a feather, it doesn't make a difference. You know, that you have people who understand and people who don't. Well, that's putting it mildly. So the question I want to ask is, does all this blaming everything on DEI, is that going to actually backfire on Trump? Will it backfire on him? So show me, let's put it this way, will Trump's blaming everything on DEI, how will it affect voting? Will it have any effect on actual votes? Will Trump's constantly blaming everything on DEI, will it affect the way people vote? I'm going to pull just three cards on this to see. DEI, the giant, what I would call a giant dog whistle. Let's see. Is that going to affect, is it going to turn, is it going to change votes? Is it going to change votes? Or is it, like I said, is it just birds of a feather and they're just going to stick with him no matter what? Let's see. DEI, will it change, his blaming everything on DEI, is that going to change the way people actually vote? Because even if it changes their opinion, it still might not change the way they vote. Let's see. Because they voted for him the second time. DEI blaming, is that going to change the way people vote? Ooh. So right away we get Ace of Cups upside down. So he's certainly not creating any new voters by doing that. He's not creating any new love because of that. So it's putting a stop to that. Ooh, Two of Wands in reverse. Now I see a couple of things with this Two of Wands in reverse. First of all, he's a lame duck. But this is showing, it's also saying that somebody with no future, or a lack of a future. It can also be saying that there's not going to be a future for not just him, but possibly the party in general, the Republican Party. But there's a lack of a future here. That can mean some other things too. If you don't have a future, if a psychic's looking into your future and they don't see anything, it's time to get real worried. Yeah, lack of a future, a lack of going forward. And also it's showing a lack of choice, like not choosing. Let's see, what's the last card we get? So we get the Six of Swords. So that is an indication of moving on to something better. Moving away from a bad situation. So this is leaving. This is a departing for something better. Gosh, you know what else I see in this card? I see deportations in this card also. some of his his voters are being deported. His voters, a lot of his voters are just going to leave the country. Yeah, it is going to affect the voters in a negative way for him. Not that he's going to have any votes, but, you know, they're not going to vote Republican either. So, yeah, so it is. So this DEI blaming stuff is not a good strategy. Not a good strategy for Trump. Thanks, everybody.